Hello everyone. Welcome to another episode of the WSO, Something Wonderful in Washington County. I'm Monica Merrell. As a member of the Board of Directors for the Washington Symphony Orchestra, I've been visiting with you to talk about the WSO and the concerts they present. But this show is a bit different. Today I'll be speaking with one of the young student musicians who performs with the WSO to get her perspective and hopefully encourage others to consider the WSO as an outlet for musical development. My guest today is Miss Katherine Skillings. Welcome, Katherine. Thank you for coming.
Yep, you're welcome.
Good. Tell me, please, what instrument you play and how long you've been playing that instrument.
So I play the cello, and I've been playing for around 8 years at this point. I just recently started playing the bells from marching band, and I joined Wso Symphony so I could, get more experience with music.
Have you been taking lessons for cello?
Yeah, I have been taking lessons.
Do you want to put a plug in for your music teacher?
Yeah, so my music teacher is Mrs. May. She's an excellent cello teacher. I've been taking lessons since about 7th grade, so 4 or 5 years at this point. And they're really great. They've really helped me progress and everything.
Have you played any other instruments beside cello, and beside the bells now, but before?
No, I never actually played another instrument. Cello was my first instrument, and then I just did, obviously, as I said before, bells.
Good. So we invited you on because you are have been performing with the WSO. You started in their side-by-side program. Can you tell me a little, let's tell our audience what that's about and how you got involved?
Yeah, so the side-by-side program is a program that the WSO hosts every year. And it's just so that kids from high school can join and see what it's like to be in an ensemble that's more professional and has higher grade music. And it's honestly a great experience because everyone's so nice and all.
Well, that's great to hear. That's great to hear. So the WSO does welcome students who play any instrument, strings, horns, percussion. And we have done this for many years. You did a concert. Do you recall what first concert you played?
Yeah, so I played in the Fire and Ice concert.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it was great. I really loved it. It was a good first experience, I would say. The music was definitely more challenging than the one I had in high school.
Well, that's great. So after you did that first performance, what compelled you to continue? Because many students don't.
Yeah, so what kept me going is definitely the environment. Everyone was super duper friendly. And the music was hard, but it was fun. And I had a lot of fun trying to play it and practice through it and work to get it to a professional and playing level for a concert. And that's pretty much why I kept going.
You know, I have no musical ability. I will confess to everyone out there. I admire people who have that skill. Mm-hmm. Now, when you're with the WSO, do they assign you like a music mentor, one of the other musicians?
Well, I didn't really have like a music mentor, but because everyone was so friendly and amiable, I was really getting along with my section leader, who was at the time Greta and is now
Lovely
a woman
lady
named Sylvia. And both of those are kind of my music mentors, and they were honestly wonderful, and another reason why I kept going with the WSO.
Did you find it hard to become comfortable playing with a more mature audience? They have all age ranges.
Yeah. I thought it was pretty easy, personally. I felt like, again, everyone was super friendly and helpful. That was a big thing, is everyone would share like, hey, this is for this, and like for different pieces, they just let you know what's going on. And it's just really a great experience for the music part of everything.
Well, so the conductor is Wso Rocks. Many of you may have seen a program where he's been on with us. He's a bit of an interesting fellow. Does he make it fun?
Yeah, he makes it really fun. His interesting sense of humor and just the way he always presents himself and presents music is just it's so funny and great, and something you can't really get anywhere else.
So it sounds like you're happy that you kept going. Can you talk a little bit about the rehearsal schedule so people might understand what to expect?
Yeah, so the rehearsal schedule, it's about 5-6 weeks prior to your concert. It is an evening practice. It used to be on Wednesdays, but we moved it to Tuesdays. It's from 7:30 to 10, and we sit down, we play through the pieces that are really difficult first, and then we go put in some of the easier pieces, typically have a 10-minute break, and we just play the whole time, and yeah, it's pretty good.
One of the reasons that the concert rehearsals have changed, we've had a few venue changes with the WSO. Our home base used to be Trinity High School. Due to, obviously, COVID and other things, that has kind of been unavailable.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the reasons we've moved around and why we've moved some of the concerts around. But it has been workable for you?
Mm-hmm.
So does it conflict a lot with your school schedule?
No, I don't really have or haven't had any conflicts with it. It's pretty workable in the schedule and everything, and I don't know, I think it's perfectly fine the time it is, and it's
Good.
kind of fun to have it later at night. Yeah.
Good. So what other, related to high school, what other music ensembles or groups are you participating in?
So I participate in our high school orchestra and our high school wind symphony, as well as marching band, but WSO currently is the only other outside of school symphony that I participate in.
Right. So while we were planning this program, you shared your school schedule. It seems like you take a lot of art classes too.
Yeah.
Is that something you're looking forward to doing in your next phase after you graduate?
Yeah, so my goal is to go to college to become an art education major so I can teach
Wonderful.
art, and I'll be minoring in cello performance, and I'm going to West Virginia University. Already committed.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Very good.
And yeah.
So do you think, tell us a little bit about what the impact, or whether it's been a benefit to you playing with the WSO, both now and then potentially for your future.
Yeah, so I think WSO has a huge impact on my life personally. I think it has prepared me to talk to people and interact with others who are much older or different than me, and it definitely improved my music abilities, but I feel like it had a lot more social and music things together that are definitely going to prepare me later in life.
I think that that's one of the components the WSO offers. It is a different environment. It's a different type of music. And as you said, it's a very diverse group of people.
Yes.
People come from all over the city to perform with the WSO. We have many volunteers. We have a few professional players who are the leads. But it's a very diverse group.
Yeah.
So what does your family think about your commitment to the WSO?
My family is all on board for my commitment to the WSO. I couldn't drive. They were willing. They were like, I'm going to drive you to practice every day, like every week. And it was really good for me because I didn't realize how much they were like, here, we'll get you there, we'll get you here. And not only that, they have to drive me, they have to drive my giant cello as well. So I'm really glad that they were on board for me doing the WSO.
You buckle it in the back seat.
Yeah.
Cool. So I actually believe I did meet your mother at the Christmas concert we had recently, and she's a lovely lady, and she was very enthusiastic about you playing. So you said you've mentioned it occasionally to other fellow students. Do you talk much about that? Do they think you're crazy?
Well, people are like, so they're interested in it. I go, hey, I play for the WSO. They're like, what's that? And I go, it's the Washington Symphony Orchestra. And they're like, oh, that's really cool. And then I mention that I'm one of the only high school students there. And they're like, oh, really? And I'm like, trust me, like, you can join. It's just like some high school students are just like, that's a little scary, but it's so much fun. And yeah.
Well, that's an interesting way to look at it. I hadn't really thought about it being scary, but it is taking yourself out of your element.
Yeah.
And as someone who's going to be graduating from school, you're going to be in a whole different element. I mean, once you get into college.
No, yeah, it's going to be
definitely a different environment. Cool,
Mm-hmm.
cool. So, what pros and cons would you give students if they said, oh, I'm thinking about it, convince me? Can you give me, like, what are the pros?
So, pros, definitely. It's good to improve your music skills. Like, if you want to get better and you're taking private lessons, but you feel like you're not really going anywhere, joining this symphony is, like, perfect. It advances your level. And then I don't know, the social aspect, like you get to meet so many different people who play different instruments, and it's like, it's lovely, it's great.
Well, and I know that people would be more than happy to give you recommendation letters or provide, if you want to carry forward, this is a great way to have people who are professionals. Because as I mentioned before in another program, Dr. Icatch is a Cal U professor of music, and he carries some weight. So it's definitely a good thing. The cons, what are the bad things? You can tell us the bad things too.
The bad things, I was nervous. My first concert, definitely nervous. There was one piece that I remember, Battle on Ice. It was extremely difficult at the time, and I was like, I can't do this. But I feel like everybody else around me, like, it's okay, you got this, you can do it, like, don't worry about it. I feel like, so the cons are, the music is hard, you have to practice, but I feel like that can turn into a pro because it motivates you to practice as well.
Cool. Do you practice much at home?
Yeah, I usually practice 45 minutes to an hour a day, and I don't know, I love cello, so I mean, it's pretty easy for me to go home and go, I'm gonna practice all my music, my repertoire for a while.
So that con about being nervous and being unsure can actually be a pro if you're the kind of person who wants to challenge themselves.
Yeah.
And really, like you said, take your music to the next level. So the next program coming up, the next concert for the WSO is Wso Rocks.
Yes.
So were you surprised when you heard the theme?
I was a little surprised. I was like, WSO Rocks, what are we gonna do? And I saw the music repertoire, and I was like, oh wait, this is actually really neat. And somehow they figured out how to throw in a classical piece, because they always do that for our things, into the WSO Rocks, and it's Mephisto Waltz, and it's crazy and insane, but it's super fun.
Well, that's the word that Dr. Icatch always likes to refer to the WSO as fun. Yeah. Because it's more than just a concert. It's more of a performance. There's usually other people involved, vocalists or other, sometimes dancers. So do you have, out of all the concerts you've been with, and how long have you been with them now?
I've been with them for around 4 years, started my freshman year, so it's been a while at this point.
That's excellent. Yeah. That's excellent. I didn't realize you were here that long with the WSO.
Yeah.
So do you have, in your history, can you remember a favorite concert? One that you liked?
I really like the Ho 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 concert we do, that Christmas concert. I feel like we always get a lot of not only Christmas music, but there's just winter themed music that's super fun. Sure. I mean, one of my favorite composers is Vivaldi, and so it's great when we get to do like Inverno or something from his seasons, but there's a lot of like rock music we do too that's really fun for that concert. Did
you play during the Scary Music concert?
I don't think I did, but I've heard
Scary
about
Music was one of my favorites. I don't mean to interject.
No worries.
But the thing that was interesting about that was that they actually had a piece that was composed electronically, and then they had Danny Elfman, the composer, then orchestrated it for the orchestra. So this is another example of how the WSO kind of thinks out of the box and does different things. So in general, it seems like you're really happy with the idea of WSO.
Yeah.
Good.
I really love it. It's great, and I really hope that people will join, because it's my senior year, so it's my last year for right now, and I'm hoping I can come back to it after I graduate. So
I was just going to say, I don't think West Virginia is not that far. If you happen to be around, you could come back. Now, one of the things I did want to bring up, and this is part of the commitment for not only trying the students side by side, that's a one concert commitment.
Yeah.
Usually that happens for the March concert. Unfortunately, this year, that's already kind of closed because you're already
we have
rehearsing.
Only a few weeks until we perform.
Right. But there are usually 4 concerts each year for the symphony. Yep. This year they scaled back to 3. So once you join as a side-by-side, you can continue to play every other concert. Yeah. And that's what makes it fun, because the music's different.
Exactly, yeah.
And as far as things go, once you start, they're happy to have you continue.
Yeah.
String players are difficult to find, particularly cello, violin. So if you happen to be a string player, the WSO will welcome you with open arms. Yeah. But they do also encourage students with other musical instruments to perform.
Yeah.
Cool. So talk to me a little bit more. Do you know any of the students who are coming on this year to play the March concert?
I don't think anybody else is from Peters or surrounding area like Upper St. Clair, Bethel. I know there's a lot of Trinity kids, McGuffey kids, but Canon Mac, I believe, as well. I mean, I'm the only Peters kid. I have been the only Peters kid for 4 years. And it would be awesome if more kids from not only Peters, but just around the area would join, because it's really a great thing.
Well, come on now, Peters kids. We're more competitive than that. We've got to get a few people on the symphony, on the Washington Symphony. We can't let that challenge go by the wayside. So one of the other things that I wanted to bring in, if you don't mind, just a few minutes, is to mention the Young Artist Competition.
Yes.
Are you aware of what that involves?
Yes, so I'm actually going to sign up for the Young Artist Competition.
Wonderful, good.
Going to try out, and it's just, you sign up, you prepare around 6-8 minute long soloistic piece, maybe with a piano accompaniment or an orchestral accompaniment, and you do an audition for Hugo and Adam.
And there'll be other judges. I'm
Yeah.
not sure yet who's been selected.
And you just play, they rate you. There's a $500 scholarship offer if you do well. And I believe if you win the competition or the audition, you get to play with the WSO.
Right, you get a solo spot in the May concert. The May concert is the 20th anniversary concert. The symphony's been going strong for 20 years. And it's a very nice way to feature a young musician who is very accomplished. That you're still able to apply for that. You can go to the website to complete an application. But the other thing that is also possible are vocalists.
Yes.
We've added a
about
vocalist.
that as well. Yeah, I heard about the young vocalist or choir audition. That would be awesome. It'd be cool if we could have like someone singing. I always found it cool. I can't sing.
Neither
but
can
I think it's cool when people can sing. I'm like, wow, how do they do that?
No, you and I are the same.
Yeah.
You and I are the same. But see, again, another thing, a challenge to the Peters community. We have a tremendous music program here at the high school. We have wonderful vocalists. There's an opportunity. It takes a little bit of time.
Yeah.
They probably want something that might be a little
more classical.
but
Usually Latin or something along those lines.
But it doesn't have to be. We've had applicants sing other things. But here's another challenge. I mean, seriously, Peters needs to be better representative, I think, in the WSO. And this competition would be a great opportunity to get out there. And $500 doesn't hurt.
No, yeah.
Good, good. So, Katherine, I appreciate you coming and meeting with me. I think we're a little fast on our program. But tell me what you think about how would you encourage people to come and try for the symphony?
I would just next side-by-side next year, maybe look at the music or look into it, talk to Adam or Hugo, be like, hey, I'm interested in joining this side-by-side or the WSO program. They'll send you maybe the repertoire and look at it, evaluate, even if it looks super difficult. Just go, you know what, I'm going to give it a try.
Exactly.
Just try it out. If you don't like it, you don't have to stay with them, but I bet you'll like it because it's super fun and it's great.
Great. One of the things I would say, another way, is to come to a concert. The Wso Rocks concert is coming up this March, the 5th and 6th. We have a program on Saturday, a program on Sunday. Come to a concert. See what you think.
Yeah.
Maybe meet some of the musicians. If you're interested, that would be another good way to learn about the WSO.
Yeah.
Katherine, thank you so much for coming.
You're welcome. No
Best
problem.
of luck with WVU.
Thank you.
So, hey, think about the WSO and please come.